So I'm just going to say a few words about the origin of this initiative, which is, we call it ICT-ART Connect, mainly because our Director General in the Commission that takes care of information technologies has as an acronym CONNECT. So ICT-ART Connect is about the idea of how can we establish and how can we explore synergies between the arts on the one hand and information and communication technologies, ICT, on the other hand. It is based on the premise that in order to advance ICT in the next couple of years, we can profit from the use of arts. I think even it's necessary to engage with the arts. We are trying to explore how we can do it in a technology directorate, which is not obvious because the technology directorate's mandate is to advance technologies and not the arts. So we have to find synergies and we have to see how this can be done in practice. I guess essentially I think it can be done along two lines. The first one I think is the idea of art as practice. How can the arts, the practice, the artistic practice help in the methods of R&D, of research and development? How can the practices of art help, for example, in the holy grail of more human-centered technologies? So how can we use a combination of artists and scientists in order to advance technologies in this respect? The second aspect of art, which I would like to call art as argumentation, is the idea that to some extent ICT, information and communication technologies, have lost some of its innocence. Think of NSA, think of the problems we have now with privacy. There is a need to reflect on these issues, and I think a combination with art could help in this respect. So art as argumentation is I think, an important aspect in this combination of the arts and information technologies. There's another aspect to art as argumentation. I think one of the key claims of ICT is that it changes the way society organizes and informs itself. And I think here as well, the use of arts and the partnering with arts could be of the essence in order to better understand how information technologies could really inform new forms of societal organization. Now, how would we like to do that? Camille already pointed out some of the ideas. We have the idea of having artists in projects. So in the upcoming framework program of the European Commission, Horizon 2020, we would like to encourage what we call in-project artists, in contrast to in-residence artists. So in projects we fund, we would like to encourage the partnering with artists. The other idea is to have artists actively involved in research and development activities. I had a discussion with a person from software development. He told me in software development, one of the big issues is the readability of code. Once code is written, it's very hard for others to read it. And he had an experiment where he brought in artists in the very process of software development, and he said afterwards the code was much easier to read, which is an important aspect, I think, and this is how I see one example of the synergies between art and ICT. Now, one aspect which we discussed yesterday over dinner, which I find important, is to say we should not, despite the fact that we are a technology directorate and we have the mandate to advance technologies, we shouldn't try to instrumentalize art. So it should be a partnering between the technology and the arts, and only if we have this partnering, for example, in form of in-project residences, can we really achieve a difference. So the FED Art project, this project of which Camille is part, is a first start, and we try to develop further and more critical mass over the next couple of years. It's not easy in a technology directorate, but I think it's important and essential. I look forward to the discussion.